in Sri Lanka, I was there, I practiced. Now I started reading, I knew now. And another one he told us, there's a book with me, that when you read this book, everything will become clear. Now I have a book. Actually, I am also having it in the room. This book is to go with me everywhere in the Himalayas for many years, the caves and all that. Because this I used to practice very deeply when I was a young boy. And slowly, when I have to do very ascetic practices, I happen to use the sutra, like a mental power, like samadhi, concentration power. More it came to me because, if you know, as a young monk also, I was walking miles and miles, like through LTT. Sri Lanka, we had terrorists. Then in 2003, in fact, from our monastery to there, like it took me 1 month and 3 days. I counted the days. From Gaul, we have the south of Sri Lanka, Gala, from there to Nagadeepa. And I had to cut across the LTT area. Those days I used to wander like my teacher, on foot. So for all that, the main practice I used was the kind of concentration power, where I was enveloped with a certain energy field, so I would not feel much hot or cold or, even the hot road. And so this kind of practice I had to do. So then this thinking and analyzing and self-realization practice got reduced. So then this, after meeting him, he was now stressing this, that I have to do this particular practice. So I went to Sri Lanka and started. I knew exactly, but not like when I was young. I started reading faster, not more focused, but just continued reading. There's a section called Kandas Vatka Samapana, my teacher has told. So it is all to do with like analyzing reflection. So I continued to read. And I went back. Then, according to them, 80% the meditation has grown. Now I have been doing all this time concentration or samadhi or calming my mind and other, devotional practices. But after I started doing that only, they suddenly saw, then I realized something unseen, very fast, some positive energy and great merits or kusal, skillful state of mind is happening while doing this. So then I went to another forest again in Sri Lanka, in the north, and I started reading the rest of the thing, completed it. Very fast, not like before. And I went back again, 120%. Okay? So then only I started these retreats in Sri Lanka and also took over the ashrama. I started this ashrama. We are training for 10 days, 5 days, giving these retreats. 5 days is the minimum. Actually, this is a 15-day thing at least. But according to the modern day, this thing, people's, Russian life or lifestyle, I made it for 5 days and 10 days. So 5 days is the minimum, and I can see after like 4th day, they are getting these results. And there's something that can, it happens something in their mind, something substantial. But I notice even one day it has some effect. So this now 5 days like that is happening. So later, now I begin to, even Somahandra used to explain, how our certain, this he also told me sometimes, like, have you heard of Somahandra? No? Young people I think you don't know. He was like a very fiery force in Sri Lanka. He showed again some, so he has ascetic life, he spent in caves, then there's times he will walk from those remote areas to Colombo. So he has a background, he's quite a pure soul. Of course he got little involved with social reforming and politics also. So people don't, but we can sense he had greatness in him. And he was a great soul. We rare to even find such a beings who come with that caliber, that force. So I used to see him when we were very young, he used to take these small pieces of paper and we could see him walking meditation. Now in Vajrarama in Sri Lanka, it's not a meditation place. There are scholars and all that there have been. But you could see this young monk, I was also very small, and he was like, I don't see young, but I saw him as my archie. My grandma used to take up me. And we could see him doing the walking meditation. He was practicing these things, though he was in a kind of a temple atmosphere. So he continued to do like that. And then suddenly we didn't know, he looked very nice, pure and nice looking. We never knew he would become like a very force one day. And he did become. So he told me one time, he told the same thing, that he's going through fourth time the sutras, the Buddha's teaching. Fourth time he's going through, but I could see, he said, what is striking in your mind, memorize it. There's something, he nicely explained, there's something in the brain that changes, and especially the blockages here. Now he touched actually the frontal cortex, and they will get clear. What he said is, unseen blockages are there, which we can't do by science operations, or that's what we see. Okay, there is something which is more finer in our brain that we can happen by this, this, because the wisdom lies in the frontal cortex. Okay, the wisdom eye is the special eye that has to be awakened. So what blocks it, what brings these blockages is mainly the 5 hindrances. Okay, 5 hindrances. What is this? Sensual desire, and what is aversion, and sleepiness, drowsiness, worry, fear, and doubting mind. Okay, these are connected with our reptilian brain mostly. So the frontal cortex, the wisdom eye is in that. So he also explained, I never forget, pointing out that when you read this, he told me to read, when you do like this, when you memorize and do like that, certain blockages will remove. He told me like that. That not only blockages, what I say is your destiny will get clear. So already my teacher has given us how to, now the way we use it, according to my teacher, is that we are using the sutra for its final purpose. Okay? One main purpose is to get liberated. It's not just getting some knowledge or getting a wisdom kind of wise brain working only, but only also making sure that you touch the immortal state. So that's a special one which is called Yoniso Manasikara. This Yoniso Manasikara, there is only one, that is, we call it wise reflection, I could say wise deep reflection, contemplation. This special thing, this is the one in the retreat I'm trying to give, how to use the sutta as a meditation. It was for that purpose only. It is not some intellectual thing that then you corrupt and you lose the purpose of the sutta. Buddha's direct words. These were actually some things Buddha didn't explain until the person was right. So now we are having it all collected together. So until the person was mature, the Buddha did not explain, he didn't come and discourse that. He waited for 5 years sometimes, 3 years. When the person was maturing, he saw from his own Buddha eye that now he's ready, then he went and told these teachings. So now what we have to do is like we have a bunch of keys, we have to try it. So that's what he said, don't think I'm gone when I'm, the last advice he gave me was don't think I'm gone, my teachings will be your teacher. Don't follow you to tell like that, even if you hear someone that this one is like an arahant, this one is like that. Don't say yes, don't say no. Arahant means like, who is enlightened. Society might say something, but you can go there and check. But don't say yes, don't say no to what they're saying. Compare it to what I have spoken, what is recorded. So he warns us again and again. So this is something I am, how it is done, because we have our own personal experience with it. I'm not talking today, I'm getting the book and giving you all. This is there from the age of 18. Okay? The age of 18, I knew it, I had no opportunity to give it. Not some personal, full experience. I was telling to read the sutta, because I didn't know whether I'll ever come back, something will happen to me, or I might pass away. But now, at least, I got the opportunity to even lay down and create that and finally give some of the treasures for my teacher, main treasure, my teacher gave us, because in the retreat, it's not just reading one sutta like Satipatthana Sutta or something. There's an entire section you are reading. He has formulated to read, go through an entire section where your brain is brought into a certain way and then shifted to another direction. Where, it's a very unique from his experience. Where the focus takes you to that very pinpoint, puts you in that area where you are, able to, get that intuition. So it prepares you to enlightenment. Like some of them look repetitive. But this time also he told some of the arahants to repeat that same discourse next day. Then only they became enlightened. The first time they were clear, they were okay. But only the second time, they were, that they had the breakthrough. They had that sparkling or clear insight, intuition. So this is the way my teacher, this thing, it is so, there are other benefits also. Before I explain that, I must also tell about, now when you have, I will come to that, when you have anger, greed and delusion, when you're having these things, to corresponding to that, there is some chemistry in our body too. Okay? It's good for everybody, especially the young people. I will touch that part. So, there is some chemical reaction or hormonal activity. So, for example, we know when we have fear and worry, there is adrenaline, right? Have you heard about this? Then the adrenaline makes us have those thoughts, right? Fearful thoughts and all that. So there's an interrelated connection with these hormones and thoughts and hormones. So now it is same with sensual desire, lust and all that. It also it creates in the body, I would say like, and then it creates these thoughts again in us. Now, say for example, you create the opposite of that. Say fear and worry, you create here, fearlessness, peacefulness, and maybe compassion, and then you read these things. Then also something, when you are looking at it without ego and analyzing, something should, when those thoughts, something should happen in your brain. It does, or some hormone should change. If you have adrenaline forming the other way, when it is passing a certain level of calming down, peacefulness, and faith and devotion, and then wisdom and reflection, something should get formed also. There is something that formed, is called ojas. This is not in the modern this thing, it is in the the rishis or the seers in India. They have brought this term because they know this happens in the body. It's called ojas, which is normally going to the brain. It will go to the brain and get deposited in the brain and open up areas which has not opened up before. And it will start to give these thoughts again. So more you are doing this, it will start pumping, it goes to the brain like this, and then it starts to get deposited. And so more you get this, I have told this, you get a shine in your skin. This is one, you get a shine in your skin, even you may be dark or fair, you look magnetic, you look, attractive. So knowing this, some of the, models also, I got to know they do yoga and all that, so that, they create that, not only they are modeling, but they create that inner charminess. So this is also related with our this is related with our virtue. How much we are, it shows in the thing, the skin becomes like light. We always, normally we apply, Fair and Lovely, right? Like the men don't. So that is, but of course when you even apply Fair and Lovely, when you're not Fair and Lovely inside, okay, it looks so funny, right? Call it a puppet. You put some lipstick to this, you have all this even in the showrooms, it looks, you have put this thing, it looks like this waiting. I have noticed this sometimes. I remember our finance controller when I was working, full of makeup. She used to come and then, but you could see her emotions are so negative that, she looks so like dead inside. The soul is dead. And it looks so funny with all this lipstick and all that. It's really funny, Of course, nobody notices that, I guess. So anyway, this charm goes away. The shine comes. Now, when you're analyzing and reflecting, there's another special type of hormones that get created. It's called tejas. Tejas is more finer, more this thing than the ojas. So these are the positive side, of when you do these things. It creates in your personality. All these people who have, made a mark in this world, they have done something. They have controlled themselves. Even Hitler. So anyway, this is the other way. There's another thing I noticed. There was this, I told you, a friend of mine, her granddaughter. was put into, was put in this school in Sri Lanka, it's called a British school. They can't afford any money, but they were not thinking in terms of their means. So they put this child into that school. And then suddenly, this was a very young girl, she went astray, by, I think they allowed this, sleepover? Sleepover, right? Yeah. And so this his father was thinking everything in the West was very nice and must this thing, and then finally he got a shock when this daughter was, So then the grandmother, one day she came to tell her problem, the small girl, and when she came to me, I remember the grandmother asking her, have you taken a bath? So I was also wondering why she asked that specifically, And then she came and then she told me everything. She was telling me like how she got addicted to certain things with the phone. I don't want to tell you, you might guess, okay? You all can guess what it is. So even in the toilet, she had been, just going on, looking, these things. And now she's around her, she's getting the smell of feces or stools. Poo, okay? Am I right? I don't know. This word I have not long time used. Poo is correct, I guess. So it's getting the smell of poo. So I have told last program about how unseen dimensions get opened up and those spirits enter the body. So this is, I think, those spirits that eat poo, or who are their body is made out of poo, I guess. And but it is very clear in the Buddha's teaching also. It shows, when you are doing some devious work or activity or addicted, a certain smell emanates from your body. Okay. Even when you do good things, the other way, it says a certain order goes from your body up to the Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka means the highest, far away realms, that it goes to that extent. So the opposite could happen. So this is very interesting. This is very important today, modern day. And I would touch this point also very clearly regarding the phones, which I recently came across. We have something called the pineal gland. And in the pineal gland, we have, yesterday I told you this word is always, causing me trouble, serotonin, which is like a good hormone which helps you to concentrate, to focus and all that. It's supposed to be in your pineal gland. Now, pineal gland is very important for our concentration and also for meditation. Okay, normally the gurus, some who transmit energy or even samadhi, they would touch the forehead. Okay, they would touch to initiate also. So this is actually activating the pineal gland. So this particular, which I got to know, even in the phone, the blue light in the phone, it's well known that it reduces or it damages the serotonin, the hormone. And it makes you, so even processed food and things like that, especially the phone. And so this you have to be conscious of. If you want to develop even artificial light, any kind of artificial light is going to affect you. So this kind of lifestyle is going to make you have less focus power. What do you mean less focus power? When you have less focus, you will be distracted, impulsive. And that is dangerous. What is impulsiveness come for? Greed, which connected with unnecessary distractions, you will go easily, no willpower to control yourself, and also anger and all these things, So this reptilian brain will increase more. And not only that, the phone, it's well known now, what is this Zuckerberg, or what's his name? This, am I right? I can remember that part because it sounds sort of funny, Zuckerberg. Okay, of course it's a German language. It's like, we have 5 precepts. The 5 precepts, we have something called, we have, what is this, Suramere Machwama Dattana Vera Manisika. That is, Suramere means intoxicating things we don't take. Now, intoxication means what? Dopamine rush, in your brain. So what do you have? In the phone, you have a dopamine, I heard the dopamine rush equal to heroin when you take. You have in games. So this is in the medical science way, but in our idea, we have the spiritual, and also the dimensions. They get opened up, and when they enter, you get addicted, and you are not in control of the body. They are in control of the body. Okay, so that's where even the parents find it difficult sometimes, not easy. So when even small toddlers, they can handle it. They just go to YouTube. Tuck, 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 tuck. But I would say it's good to supervise until the age of 18 because they have to be exposed to the Kama Loka. Even good boys or good girls, who are really have special potential, they will, especially they will be caught by these forces more. You must learn to limit it, at least for your work purpose, and be conscious of this damaging. You can get it from YouTube itself.